You've heard of WWE, you've heard of AEW, maybe even New Japan Pro Wrestling. But let me ask you something. Have you heard of MCW, PWA Black Label, Riot City Wrestling? If not, buckle in, because today we're diving headfirst into one of the most underrated, fiercely passionate, and wild wrestling scenes on the planet, the Australian pro wrestling scene. This is Just Putting Around, and I'm your host, Reese Williams. Alright, to understand where we are, we've got to rewind. Back in the 60s to the 80s, Australian wrestling was massive. World Championship Wrestling aired on Channel 9 and was pulling big crowds. We had legends like Mario Milano, Spiros Arion, and Killer Kowalski throwing hands on primetime telly. But then, the scene flatlined. By the late 80s, it was like someone powerbombed Aussie wrestling off the air. The 90s and early noughties were a drought, but not for long. The indie resurrection started in the early noughties, with promotions like EPW in Perth, RCW in Adelaide, and MCW in Melbourne popping up. Then came the modern boom, post-2016, with PWA Black Label blowing up in Sydney and Aussie wrestlers tearing it up overseas. Let's talk about the backbone of the scene, the promotions. Here's a quick spotlight. Melbourne City Wrestling. They're the flagship. Top production value, killer talent, and consistently sold out the Thornbury Theatre. PWA Black Label. If MCW is the WWE of Aussie wrestling, PWA is an NXT meets Japanese strong style. It's tight, it's fast, and it hits hard. Riot City Wrestling. Homegrown grit. Story heavy, character driven, and it's the launch pad of guys like Matt Busso and Grimm. EPW. Perth's powerhouse. Great training ground and crazy loyal fans. Wrestle Rampage. These guys are like the Aussie version of Pro Wrestling Noah. Hard-hitting, Japanese-influenced, dojo-trained talent. Deathmatch Down Under. Blood, guts, punk rock and politics. Not for the faint-hearted, but these folks are shaking things up. Now, let's not forget the regional warriors keeping the lights on. Wide Bay Pro Wrestling in Queensland. Pure Heart, Regional Pride, Queensland Wrestling Alliance, in Townsville, old school flavour. Venom Pro, RWA, all putting in work in Queensland. PCW, SHWA, and ACW in the SA, all delivering solid shows. Wrestling Go, AWF, Newey Pro, keeping New South Wales buzzing. Even Tasmania and the Northern Territory get shows here and there, often via touring promotions like RCW or Wrestle Rampage. Let's talk the exports. Rhea Ripley, Grayson Waller, Bronson Reed, Tony Storm, Buddy Matthews, Indy Hartwell, Robbie Eagles, all Aussie, all killing it. Most of them got their start in these local feds, training in dusty gyms, working in front of 40 people. Now they're headlining WrestleMania, New Japan tours, and AEW pay-per-views. So, what makes the Aussie wrestling different? It's the chaotic cocktail of British chain wrestling, Japanese stiffness, and US storytelling, all filtered through a good old Aussie give-it-a-crack attitude. Crowds, rowdy and relentless. Venues range from local pubs to civic centres to full-on theatre venues. Deathmatch fans have their niche, comedy wrestling has a home too. It's grassroots, but it's growing. It's not all super kicks and suplexes though. Travel expensive, Australia's huge. There's no national TV deal, most wrestlers work part-time. WWE and New Japan cherry-pick top talent before they peak. Some promotions clash on dates, splitting the pool. But the scene's resilient. Passion carries it. Streaming services like IWTV and Fight TV, or Triller TV as it is now, are making Aussie wrestling more accessible than ever. Training schools are thriving, There's more women in the game, more diversity, more eyes on the product. We might not have our own WWE Australia yet, but who knows? One of these feds might just be the next big global player. And that's the state of play, folks. Australian wrestling is loud, it's proud, and it's absolutely worth your time. Next episode, we're heading to the Thornbury Theatre and shining a light on Melbourne City Wrestling, where Aussie grappling becomes pure art. Until then, keep bumping, keep dreaming, and just keep podding around.